Hello, welcome. If we haven't met or practiced together before, my name is Steph, and today I'm going to be taking us through a 20-minute morning flow, perfect to get you ready for your day. We will begin in a comfortable seated position, so making your way to a comfortable seat, taking an easy cross of the legs, ground your sit bones down. So really think about pressing the sit bones down into the floor or your mat, so that you can lengthen through the spine, sit up tall, and then let those shoulders soften away from the ears. You can close the eyes here if that feels right for you. And we'll begin by bringing our awareness to our breath. Breathing in and out through your nose. And just observing your natural rhythm of breath here. Keep the spine long, keep sitting tall, and keep letting the shoulders relax away from the ears. We'll keep our focus on the breath, and we'll just start to invite gentle movements into the neck, letting your chin come in towards the chest. See if you can keep the spine sitting tall. Isolate that stretch into the back of the neck. And then letting right ear roll over towards right shoulder. You can stay here. You might place your right hand on the side of the head. Just allow it to be a little bit of additional weight. Try not to pull or force it over. And we're working on stretching through that left side of the neck. Take a slow breath in through your nose and a slow breath out. Releasing the hand if it's on the head, bring the head back through center. Let the chin come back in towards the chest. And then slowly take left ear over towards left shoulder. Inviting that stretch into the right side of the neck now. Option to place that left hand on the side of the head. And then breathing into that stretch. Take one more deep breath in. Staying for that deep breath out. Bringing the head back through center, releasing the hand if it's there. Just go ahead and take your hands slightly behind the hips. Lean back, change the cross of the leg. So whichever leg was in front before, taking it behind, bringing the opposite leg in front. Bring the hands back to rest on the thighs, letting the shoulders soften away from the ears, sitting tall. When you're ready, take a deep breath in and start to reach your arms up towards the sky. Twist to the right. Bring your left hand to the outside of that right leg. Right fingertips find the floor behind you. Lift and lengthen. Open the chest towards the right. Let's enjoy 2 rounds of breath here. Your rhythm of breath in and out through your nose. Taking one more inhale. And an exhale. Inhaling the arms back up towards the sky as you twist the chest through center and then take it to the left. Right hand to the outside of that left leg this time. Left fingertips land on the floor behind you. Sitting tall, opening the chest towards the left side of the room. Enjoying those 2 rounds of breath in and out through your nose. One more inhale on this side. And exhale. Inhale the arms back up to the sky. Chest faces the front of the room. Bring your hands out in front of you. Come over the knees. I'm just going to turn around on my mat. Meet in a tabletop position. Fingers are spread nice and wide once they find the mat. Index fingers pointing to 12 o'clock. Shoulders are directly stacked above the wrists and our hips are directly stacked above the knees. We'll move through 3 rounds of cat and cow when you're ready. And inhale to tilt the sit bones to the sky, lift the gaze. Exhale to round the back, chin to chest, tuck the tailbone under. 2 more with your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, tilt the sit bones, let the belly lower towards the mat, gaze forward. Exhale, rounding the spine, tuck the tailbone under, chin to chest. Meeting back, neutral tabletop position when you're ready. From here, go ahead and step your right foot towards the back of the mat, and then float your right foot away from the floor. Just be mindful of your surroundings. Keep both frontal hip points facing down, and keep the belly drawing back towards the spine so that we can keep the back flat. From here, press through the hands, take a breath in. On the breath out, see if you can draw that right knee in towards the nose and get it to tap. Take that right leg back behind you. Leg is parallel to the floor, back is flat. Take a breath in. Exhale, draw that knee in towards the nose. See if you can get it to tap. Inhale, take that right leg long behind you. Last one, exhale, draw that right knee in towards the nose. See if you can get it to tap. Take that right leg back behind you on your next breath in. And then bring the right knee down to meet the left. Exhale. We'll set that up for the second side. Left foot steps to the back of the mat. Both frontal hip points facing down towards the floor. Keep that navel drawing in towards the spine. We want to keep that back flat. Go ahead and hover the left toes away from the mat so that the leg is parallel to the floor. It can be a little bit lower, but we're trying not to take it too high that we start to round in the back. Take an inhale breath here. On the exhale, start to bring that left knee in towards the nose. See if you can get it to tap. Inhale, take the left leg long behind you. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the nose. Moving with the breath. Exhale takes that left leg long behind you. Last round here. Exhale, bringing that knee in towards the nose. See if you can get it to tap. Inhale, take it back behind you. Exhale, left knee comes down to the mat. Take your knees wide, bring your big toes to touch. We'll find a child's pose here. Hips go back towards the heels. Hands reach forward, forehead comes down to find the floor. Enjoying 2 rounds of breath in through the nose, out through the nose. One more inhale breath. And a big exhale. Coming back to meet in that tabletop position when you're ready. Hands underneath the shoulders. Option to have your knees on the mat here. You might like to step the feet to the back of the mat to find a high plank. Wherever you are, you're gazing down towards the mat in between your thumbs. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, start to bend the elbows and lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. Untuck the toes, take the hands back beside the hips. Press the tops of the feet and your pubic bone into the mat, engage the glutes. Palms on the floor, pressing down into the mat. On an inhale, lift your head and chest away from the floor, using the muscles of your back here to lift up. Staying here, keep the gaze down towards the mat, keep the back of the neck long. Keep pressing the pubic bone down, keep pressing the tops of the feet down, keep pressing the hands down. Take one more breath in. Can you lift the head and chest a little bit higher? That's it. Exhale, release. Take one cheek to the mat. And let the hips rock side to side. You're going to bring your hands beside the low ribs, forehead to the mat. Tuck the toes. Knees can be on or off the mat. Make your way back into that high plank. And then from here, take the hips up and back to find downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, take a deep breath in through your nose. And stay for that deep breath out through the nose. Slowly walk your hands towards your feet. Hands are walking back to our feet at the back of the mat. We'll come into a forward fold at the back of our mat. Let the head hang heavy. Maybe just let the chest sway side to side. Press into the feet, take a deep breath in, sweep the arms wide, bring them overhead, maybe gaze up towards the hands. Exhale, bring the hands together in front of the heart. Hands down beside the hips. We'll set up for our side bend here. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. At the top, catch your right wrist with your left fingers. Reach the hands up to the sky and then side bend over to the left, creating this beautiful line, this stretch down the right side of our body. And you're using the fingers around that right wrist to help you reach that right hand up and over a little bit more. Bring a bit more weight back into that right foot. Take a full breath in. Stay for the full breath out. Inhale, come back through center, release the right wrist. Catch your left wrist with your right fingers, this time side bend over to the right. Reaching left hand up and over. Bring some more weight back into that left foot. Breathe into that beautiful stretch down the left side of the body. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Come back through center, release the left wrist, take a big inhale. Take the arms wide, soften, and the knees fold forward over the legs. Exhale. From here, we'll start to walk your hands back to the front of your mat to meet back in our downward facing dog. Take a breath in downward facing dog. Take a breath out. Right leg lifts up and back behind you. Three-legged dog. Take an inhale breath here. Exhale to step your right foot all the way to the top of the mat, in between the hands. Runner's lunge. Hands either side of that right foot. Keep the left knee lifted. Bending into that right knee and see if you can send that left heel towards the back of your mat or back of the room. Stretching across the front of the hips. Take an inhale breath here. Lengthen the spine, chest reaches forward. We'll set ourselves up for a warrior two. Pivot that left foot so that it plants parallel to the back edge of your mat. Take weight into that right foot as you cartwheel the arms to come up. Left hand reaches back, right hand reaches forward. Shoulders are stacked over the hips. We're evenly reaching the hands forward and back, and the arms are parallel to your mat. Let's enjoy 2 rounds of breath here, feeling into our warrior two. If you need to make any adjustments in the feet, you can heel toe that left foot, that back foot back, or maybe heel toe it in a little bit closer towards the front foot. Let's enjoy another deep breath in and a deep breath out. Keep bending into your right knee. Take an inhale. Flip your right palm so it faces up towards the sky. Reach it up and back as you take that left hand to the left leg for reverse warrior two. Once again, inviting and breathing length into that right side of the body as you reach the right fingertips up and back. Take a deep breath in. Stay for the breath out. Come back into your warrior two. Shoulders stack over the hips. Arms reach forward and back. Arms are parallel to them. Press into your right foot to straighten the right leg. And then pivot the right foot so that the toes face to the left side of the room. The feet are parallel. I'm just going to spin around so you can see. Toes slightly turned in. Bring your hands onto your hips. Take a big breath in. Lengthen the spine. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Taking our hands down towards the mat. You may start to bend into the knees. Crown of the head reaching down towards the floor. See if you can shift a little bit more weight into the balls of the feet, the front of the feet, and so the toes sort of have to grip the mat.
to stop you falling too far forward. This brings our hips in line with the ankles. We get a little bit more stretch in the back of the legs, also into the inside lines of the legs, the inner legs. Let's stay for another full breath in and a full breath out. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders and start to lift the chest. Walk your hands around to the right, and we'll come to meet in a lizard lunge at the top of the mat, letting the feet pivot to face the front of the room. Hands are on the inside of that right leg. Again, bending into that right knee, sending left heel back, find length in the spine. I've ended up on the wrong leg because I spun around before. Take a deep breath in your lizard lunge and a deep breath out. Plant the hands, step back into a high plank. Knees can be lifted here or knees can come down to the mat. Gaze between the thumbs. Take a breath in. Bend the elbows. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Setting ourselves up for that locust once again. Hands come down beside the hips. Palms press into the mat. Pubic bone presses into the mat. And then inhale to lift the head and chest away from the floor. Keep the gaze down towards the mat so we keep the back of the neck long. Option to keep the tops of the feet pressing into the mat, or option to lift the feet up here and squeeze the legs together. Keep the palms pressing into the mat here though. Take a big breath in. Can you lift your chest and your legs a little bit higher? Can you keep squeezing the legs together? One more breath in. Exhale, release legs to the mat. Take one cheek to the mat. Maybe let the hips rock side to side. Hands come beside the low ribs. Tuck the toes. Make your way back into that high plank. Knees can be on or off the mat. Downward facing dog. Take the hips up and back behind you. We'll take that same set of poses on the second side. Left leg lifts up and back behind you for a three-legged dog. Take an inhale breath here. Exhale to step that left foot in between the hands to the front of the mat for our runner's lunge. Hands either side of the foot, bending into left knee, lengthening that right heel towards the back of the room. Take an inhale, reach the center of the heart forward. Stay for the breath out. Start to pivot on that right foot, plant it so it's parallel to the back edge of the mat, setting up for warrior two. Press into the left foot, cartwheel the arms open, right hand goes back, left hand reaches forward. Shoulders stack over the hips and our arms are parallel to the floor. Keep the bend in the left knee. Find your warrior two. Again, making any of those little adjustments here that you need to. Heel toe that back foot in closer, maybe back foot further away. Take a full breath in and stay for that full breath out. Keep the bend in the left knee, flip your left palm to face the ceiling, and then reach that hand up and back as you take your right hand to that right leg, finding that beautiful length in the left side of the body this time. Good, reaching those left fingertips up and back. Take a big breath in. Stay for the breath out. Come back to meet warrior two. Left hand reaching forward, right hand reaching back, arms parallel to the floor. Pressing into left foot to straighten the leg, and then turning your left toes so that the feet are parallel, maybe even turn the toes in slightly. Bring your hands onto your hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, release the hands down towards the mat. You can have your hands anywhere on the floor here that feels supportive for you. If the knees are bent, you can keep the knees bent. Let your head hang heavy here, so let the crown of the head reach down towards the floor. Breathing into the legs, stay with it. One more breath in. One more breath out. We're bringing the hands underneath the shoulders once again. Walk your hands around to the front of the mat. Let your feet pivot as you go. We're landing in our lizard lunge, rebending into that left knee. Heel toe the left foot all the way out to the edge of your mat. Hands either side or hands on the inside of that left foot. Keep the back knee lifted here. Reach the center of the heart forward. We want to find that length in the spine instead of rounding ourselves in. We're trying to open and stretch our muscles for the day ahead. Take one more breath in here. Staying for the breath out. We step it back into our high plank. That left foot steps to the back of the mat. You can have the knees lifted or knees come down to the mat. Take an inhale together. Start to bend the elbows. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Hands go back beside the hips. Tops of the feet on the mat. Coming back into our locust last round here. Inhale, head and chest lift away from the floor. Keep the gaze down towards the mat. Pubic bone pressing down. Option to stay here. Option we're lifting the feet away from the mat. Hug the legs together. Squeeze them in together. Keep the palms pressing into the mat, or maybe the hands lift up this time too. Reach the fingertips back. Reach the crown of the head forward. Keep pressing the pubic bone down into the mat. Lift everything up, up, up. Take a breath in. And then exhale to release it all down to the mat. Take one cheek to the mat. Let the hips sway side to side. Hands come beside the low ribs when you're ready. We'll make our way back into a child's pose. Press your chest away from the mat. Take your knees wide. Bring the big toes to touch. Hips go back towards the heels. Hands reach forward. Forehead comes down towards your mat. Settling into your child's pose for 3 rounds of breath. Reconnecting to that breath. May have gotten a little bit short and shallow as we moved through a few energizing poses. Let's enjoy one more breath in and a breath out. We'll make our way through a tabletop position. Take your knees over to one side of the mat. Let your hips come to the other. We'll find that easy cross of the legs once again, that easy seated position, hands resting down on the thighs. If it feels right for you, you can bring the hands together in front of your heart. Taking a moment here to show yourself gratitude for making this time in your day for you. And I hope you feel energized and ready to start the day. Namaste.